And now I think I'm live. Maybe I'm not. We'll find out. But if I am live, then hello. I am using OBS for the first time instead of streaming directly through YouTube. Why am I doing this? Because I have plans, people. Bill's got some plans. One of Bill's plans is to stream more live crap, because it'd be fun. Hey, looks like I'm live. Alright, so the thing is, I don't see myself, which is weird. So how the hell do I... Oh, hey, there's me. There I am. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I guess I'm streaming through OBS. Thank you for sitting here with me while I test a bunch of crap that I probably could figure out a way to test privately, but, you know, it's Friday, so I'm drinking decaf, because where I live, it's in the evening now, and if I drink caffeinated coffee, my wandering mind will be up all night, thinking of monsters and adventures. So, let's see who we got. Hey, Justin, David, Gabrielle. I just bought a new computer through a Black Friday deal. Well, congratulations, my friend. I am using my old computer, my trusty old computer, and I am in the newly, not remodeled. Yeah, I guess it would be. So, November of last year, I began emptying out my basement because we discovered we had problems, including water issues and black mold, which is not good, people, not good. In fact, the water issues were so bad that it actually rusted out a lot of conduit, which is behind the wall. There was exposed wire. Anyway, long story short, it's been almost a year in the making, which is why I really haven't had any fresh crafting videos other than stuff that I've been able to squeeze in at the studio. But I have reclaimed the back room where the ejector pit is, and I have started restocking it with my things. So, yes. Hey, Jonathan Issa. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Hey, Mark Gump. Howdy from New Orleans. Super duper Cooper Frooper. Hey from Tennessee. Bourbon country. Well, wait. Is Kentucky bourbon country? Tennessee's whiskey country? I always mix those two up. Anyway. So the reason why I'm testing out OBS with this, guys, is because I want to be able to do more live stream crafting tutorial videos down here in the basement. I've got a few more things that I need to get set up down here, but things are starting to come together. So, yeah, so my idea is just to use my laptop and a secondary webcam and use OBS and just kind of showcase what I'm working on. Life is good, Super Duper Cooper. Life is good. I am blessed. If you missed the beginning, our basement had a lot of issues, and you know, home ownership is not an easy thing, man. So we had to shop around and find the right contractor, and it ended up working out that the contractor who did our kitchen was able to come and do our basement, and he's literally an angel. I mean, the guy just does fantastic work. You know, him, his son, and they do really good work. So our basement that used to be kind of a scary dark cave is now finished. And I am in the back room here where, I don't know if I can really do a tour, but I'll try. I'm holding my laptop up. So that's the door. Sorry. That's the door to the finished part of the basement. This is what used to be the workroom where I had all my tools and stuff, and now it's going to be my crafting space. I need a wider lens on this. Behind me is my shelf of things that I love. So that would include my collection of vintage D&D figures. and some very old minis and some different dragons, and then more stuff. This is all just basically my toys, my crap, my gaming stuff. Some of them have some interesting stories and sentimental value. And then down here, a bunch of my, what I'll call my cultural collection. So this includes some very special statues that I got when I was able to travel to mainland China with my mom and dad, as well as some gifts from friends, and some other artifacts from travels. I got more stuff down here, and then CDs and other things down there. So this is a leftover kind of shoe rack that my wife was done with. So I put up a couple nails, and now it's going to become my holding crafting supplies rack. So I'm going to have just a bunch of different tools and brushes and stuff in there. This thing was already mounted here, and I used to have all sorts of hardware on these little shelves, but I realized this is going to be perfect for paints. So I'm going to have all my paints. Here you got like one little sample bottle. I'll probably craft a little shelf here, but then so things don't fall. But I'm going to have all my paint bottles for all my crafting paints and mini painting and all that stuff here, easy to get to. So then to get all this to fit, I had to reorganize my shop, which I'm pretty proud of because I did. So I've got bins of hardware and all sorts of stuff all organized. Going all the way down there, there's paint. But it's a very tight space. We also have family storage. Just made a Costco run. I got paper towels and just other crap. Here's my vintage stereo that I plan on bringing back because I have CDs and tapes that I want to listen to. So yeah, this space is about maybe 8 foot by 12 foot, and that includes the ejector pit. You can see the plumbing back there. That's the ejector pit. So I don't know how much brain time I'll have down here before I die of sewer gases, but anyway, it's my only space left in the house that can be just mine. So I'm going to make it into a little crafting studio. And Lord knows I got a lot of minis that need to get painted, and I'm not really good at painting minis, but I figure I have enough to practice on to last me a lifetime. So I'll be putting out some of those. I got a few more things to do, but I'm hoping that you know, come December, I'll have everything down here set up. I'm buying myself an early birthday/Christmas present in the form of a whole bunch of new paints for minis, higher quality paints, and some little brushes for minis. So yes, you know what, I cannot complain. I'm blessed. Same here, super duper crooper furper. That's how I'm feeling, man. You know, life is good. Everybody in my family's healthy. My home, like I said, after this remodeling job in the basement now, it really feels like our home, you know, our house has become our home. So, you know, I love that my kids have a place to come and play with their friends, and they can build their Lego stuff or play video games or whatever they want to do and have a place to do that. My wife and I have a proper bedroom with a closet, and, you know, yeah. So let's see who else is tuning in. Hey, Roxy. Yeah, there's not a lot of space compared to what I used to have. There's not a lot of space, but you know, I realized I don't need a ton of space to do crafting, especially if I take it one project at a time. So I'm glad y'all are tuning in for this impromptu test of OBS. Actually, I'll give you spoilers. One of the reasons why I'm testing OBS is because not only do I want to do some of the live mini painting and crafting videos, but we've had talk about doing some more shows. And the hardest part of doing the shows is scheduling. The high school kids all have crazy schedules. So for me to try to get everybody's schedules rounded up and, it's a challenge. It has been exhausting trying to get a show out every week. And it's not that they don't want to play, it's just they all have different schedules. So we're constantly changing at the last minute to do things, and but there are people who do want to play, and we might have some other shows coming up, and some of that might involve online play. So we've been looking at Roll20, at Fantasy Ground, and a lot of other options for how to do online play. So yeah, so OBS is one of those things where I knew I had to test it out eventually. We actually used it at Gen Con when we were the official streaming crew for Gen Con. And we liked how it worked in terms of the encoding, and as opposed to going directly to Twitch or directly to YouTube. So I think it's going to be our go-to thing. Let's see. Hey, Andy. You're full of crafting stuff. Need to get more air. Yeah, that's true. How's the OBS working? I use it too. It's pretty good. Peanut butter jam, I like it so far. I from a tech standpoint, I like the fact that there's a VU meter of sorts here on the audio mixer, so I could see when it's too loud. I actually brought it down. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm only a foot away from the built-in mic, so I turned it down because it was going into the red, and I didn't want it to be like blown out. That, and I also have, my son has 3 of his friends over, and they're playing old school Xbox. For those of you who remember the original Xbox, I still have one that works, and these young kids love playing it, which is funny because they have Xbox One, but they like playing the old Xbox because it has a lot of split screen games. So they're over here, they're playing Halo 2, they're playing Gauntlet, they're playing Tony Hawk skateboarding game. What else they play? A couple racing games, a couple fighting games like Dead or Alive. They like these old school games. I think it's I get a kick out of it. So OBS is Open Broadcast Studio. It's basically a free encoder that you can download. Works on Macs or PCs, and it allows you to encode so that you have something kind of buffering your stream to make it a clean stream. So far so good. Hey, Sam Henry. Hey from Australia. All right, Bradley Hall. Love the new episode of D&D with high school students. I'm glad, because that was tough. Getting everybody to be there at the same time was a challenge, man. So I'm glad y'all like it. It was a fun game. They're still newbies. They're still learning just how to function at the table. They're still learning to not talk over each other and have side conversations. It can be a handful, but I see a lot of potential because they're starting to get it. And so it's exciting for me, because that's why I'm doing this, is to just, teach the joy of role-playing games. Not just D&D, but just, what you all know already is what I get to teach these kids and help them learn. And a big part of that is communication and teamwork and, using your mind to solve problems. So they're learning slowly but surely. Let's see. David Gunther. I'm 3/4 of the way through episode 5. I had Luigi contact me, and he loved my sketches I sent you. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Sam Henry. Good volume, good volume. I'm a little behind on comments. Let me get caught up. I like the samurai helmet that was on your shelf. Yeah, that's... I got this when I was a kid. One of my best friends got it as a gift for me. There was a time in my life where I was really into just Asian things, Chinese things, Japanese things, martial arts, Japanese, the period, the Shogun period. And he got this for me years and years ago, man. I'd say this is probably more than 30 years old. So it's solid. It's made out of metal. So yeah, that was kind of a cool thing. I have enough stuff on that shelf to start up a YouTube channel of just old crap. So I'm sure I'll share some more of that stuff. Let's see. Brad Hall, Carlos. Thanks, guys, for checking that audio. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear them in the background because it's like 4 12-year-old boys playing a fighting game, so there's no way to make them quiet. Smash Bros. Gauntlet is a classic. Yeah. Well, when I showed my kids Gauntlet, I said, guys, it's like D&D. It's like D&D video game. And they're like, yeah, and they love it now. And they've got characters that are like, 16th level or something like that. And they love going through the dungeons. I haven't actually introduced them to any of the massively multiplayer online things. When they were little, I used to play DDO, D&D Online. And, I would kind of play with them, but they were too young to kind of figure out the controls, and they'd always get killed. So they kind of watch me play sometimes, but I really haven't played that game in a long time. And then just a couple of years ago, my brother gave me his old Xbox 360 and Skyrim. And so I started playing Skyrim, and they really love that. They love watching me play it, and every once in a while I'll let them play. My character's pretty buff now, so I don't have to worry about the boys getting killed. It's more about them killing other things and then messing up my game. But yeah, so that's kind of their. They like playing video games just like anything else. Let's see. I took 3 original Xbox and made 1 working one. Yeah, Bradley Hall. It's just funny. I never really thought that old Xbox would have much of a lifespan, but it's like in a renaissance. They just love playing all these games, so I'm happy that I kept it around. Let's see, Smash Bros. I run D&D for some younger kids I work with. It's fun, also slowly but surely learning. Yeah, and I just ran a game this week for a couple of the neighborhood kids and my kids, and it was fun. I don't go super deep into the narrative. But they like playing it, and it's something different. I think it's, just like I always say, role-playing games are good for the soul because it gets you together with people, right? And even board games. It just gets you together face-to-face with people, and we all need some of that. We all need to use our imagination. We all need to use our mind and have fun and learn how to work together and all that kind of stuff. So, Mark Gump. What's funny? I don't know if the cast of Season 3 watches the videos or reads the comments. Season 2, like Carl and Heather and all them used to read the comments and stuff, and I don't know if Season 3 really does much of that. They should. I've read them, some of the comments. When you guys have good suggestions, I'll read them to the kids and remind them, like, how to use their abilities or how to use their powers. Beecher's a good example. So Beecher's pretty good at role-playing in his character, but he constantly forgets abilities that he has, like as an Aasimar, and also his Hexblade abilities. He's starting to come around. So I printed out the abilities and spells and stuff that they have so that they can kind of familiarize themselves with it, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So Swuzzups, you just made a good point. I do encourage Beecher to take a leadership role. And I think he's kind of working his way up into that. Beecher can be very laid back. Whereas you guys are probably, those of you who are watching Season 3, you could see that there's a constant tension between Matthew and Tony. Tony is naturally charismatic. The fact that he made a bard wasn't even a question. When I gave him the options, like, that's the one that jumped out at him. But Tony's also a joker, and he likes to have fun. So he could be a good leader, but he's always going to be Tony, which fits really well with his character. Matthew is a strategic. Matthew would make a superb arch-villain. I don't know if he's going to be a great leader or not. We'll see. What's funny is that I think Neely could be a good leader, but I think she is still just kind of learning around the idea of playing Mantra as Mantra. Because Mantra is, without a doubt, the most powerful character in the whole group. Like, hands down. But I don't know if Neely's ready to make that jump and become that leader. So we'll see. I don't like to push hard. I like to let the kids find themselves, and I think that's part of the process. So, all right, let's see. Roxy, my dear Mr. Allen, you got to have a dreamy space and all those scheduled neat players, all our ideas and your inspiration. Yeah, I wish to create my own world just as you've humbly made your own based on my own gain points of view. You're a huge inspiration for one. Well, thank you. And you guys, you guys that are super fans that tune in and support the channel, you know that I've said this a lot. I'm working on all of the behind the scenes stuff to be able to make the next step. And the next step, hopefully will involve some releasing of content, because I have a world. I have continents and races and languages and religions and all that stuff, and I'd love to share it with you guys for a very modest, reasonable amount of price to help me offset the costs, that I'm putting in with my time. So that will be forthcoming, I promise. Let's see, Bradley Hall, Final Fantasy game. Yep, that's another good one. I think my older son's definitely ready for something like Final Fantasy. He has a natural knack for kind of following storylines and all that kind of stuff. He'd dig that. Hey, Nat Cat. Hello, hello. Earl Grey tea. There's my guy. So this is a sneak peek for Earl Grey tea. Wink, wink. I'll be seeing you, hopefully, at GaryCon. We're like 99% locked to be the official crew. Can't go into any details, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So I hope to see you and spend more than like 2 minutes seeing you. We'll be going up to GaryCon on Thursday during the day, setting up all the video equipment. And then I think I'm open Thursday night, and then Luke has us working Friday and Saturday all day. We're doing 2 rooms. We're covering the panel discussion room, recording those, and then Luke's game rooms. We're doing the big game rooms. So I will find time to meet up with you, and I want to see Paul and I want to see everybody and say hi. So anybody else going to GaryCon will be there. I'll be working, but I'll be there. So let's see. Roxy said Beecher and Tony for this season's We'll make it happen. Include Heather in the whole real thing. We'll see. Heather's around, but Heather's kind of trying to find herself and maybe more importantly find jobs. So I see Heather every once in a while, and she's interested in playing games, but I don't know to what extent. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I have to quell a fight. This is the real world. Hey. Guys, Mike. I'm trying to do a live thing. Guys, stop it. Get out of here. I'm trying to do a live thing. Go play games. Well, that's a little taste of my reality. Breaking up fights with the boys. So, yeah, let's see. Justin says, have you ever, or would you ever think about making world building tutorials? Yes. Some of the content that I do, I absolutely put on the channel because I feel like it's just of general interest and gamers should know about it. So I'm willing to share that. One of the parts of the business plan that I'm developing is a Patreon so that I can spend more focused time with people on focused topics. When the Patreon kicks, there will be options for people to be able to have Google Hangouts that are exclusive to those levels of patrons where I build worlds with you. So if you're a DM and you're like, I really want to create this world, there will be an option, a very affordable, reasonable level that will basically buy my time so that I can build worlds with you. Now that said, I'm always going to put out free stuff on the channel because that's part of what I like to do, and I feel like giving back to the community is, part of what the mission of the channel is. You guys have been supportive of me, so I like to be able to address those things too. So the answer is yes. I will be working on more stuff like that. Mark Gump says, my childhood DM and I recently had a good laugh about how we would come up with extremely creative ideas to crash his plans. Has there been any points where the cast shifted your planned storyline? Yeah, Mark, it would be called Season 2. The entire season was a deviation from my planned storyline, and I loved every minute of it. And as a DM, I think it's hard. If you're a new DM and the party basically goes off course, it can be a challenge. But for me, it's I embrace the challenge. I love it. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps my mad skills sharp. So oftentimes I rely on improvisation, which is a developed skill. It's not one of those things that, you know, some people have it, some people don't. Anybody can develop those abilities, but you have to work at it, just like anything. You have to practice. And you could practice improvisation outside of games. Sometimes I just make up stories to tell people or kids. Or we play a game where we each take a character and we make up a story. Sometimes I just come up with ideas and I write them down. And then later on I can draw from those ideas. So all of that is kind of part of the process. Let's see where we're at here. I'm really behind. Sorry, guys. Andy M says, if you could have any miniature, not limited by what's available, what would it be? Man, that's a good question. That is a good question. Well, I think I'm stocked on monsters. If I could have any figure, not limited by what's available, what would it be? Well, I'll tell you what. I had to actually go to Hero Forge to make my mini for the Bard's Tale, the game that I play in over on Initiative Coffee Company, because I wanted a mini who was fit my physical description, but also had a frying pan for a shield and a sword. So that's what I did. And it was like $39 because I customized all these little things that I probably didn't need to do, but it was kind of a splurge. If I could have a mini, any mini, what would it be? Well, I'll tell you. Imagine a mini where it's like a humanoid body, very muscular humanoid body with an elephant head, like an anthropomorphic kind of elephant man. I would like that mini in like a heroic pose with like weapons and stuff. That would be cool. I don't know if that exists, but, and I don't know why I came up with that. It's not any part of my world, but I just think it'd be cool. All right, Raphael, hey, hello, buenas tardes, because it's like in the evening. So good evening to all of you. What did you want to test on OBS? I think we have hijacked your plans. This is it. So here I'm going to do a display capture. Boom. Now, for some reason when I do that, it I don't see crop to window. No. So right now I'm in the OBS thing, and I don't know what I'm doing. I need to watch a tutorial or so. I don't know what I'm doing. I basically have to figure out how to do the display part. I have under sources display capture, and when I double click it, it shows me my display, but then it goes into like a fractal where it shows like my display going into infinity. Oh shoot, I think I figured it out. But all it does, so this doesn't really show me anything though. You guys probably see my OBS display. So rip. Display capture. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to learn my way around the interface. I don't think this is rocket science, but basically I want to add a webcam, and I want to be able to display my surface so that if I'm doing like a map making tutorial, you could see my laptop's display, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. Earl Grey T says, I'll be there Friday and Saturday for sure. Awesome. So I'll be working Friday and Saturday, but I'm pretty sure that you're going to know about some of the games that I'm working crew on, and I will also have some free time in between panels and games where we can meet up. So we will meet up, Nate. Let's see. Screaming babies. Dad moment happens. That is rad. Oh, that was like 5 minutes ago. Sorry, I'm so behind. Bill, you are the reason I started playing D&D. Keep up the awesome work. Oh, thank you, Mouse. I'm glad. Dova Keen. Hey, Bill. Let's see. Justin Norman. What was the planned storyline for D&D with high school students? So they were actually supposed to become friends with the Reeve of Dario Larshari. And the Reeve had an important, job for them to do that he couldn't entrust to anybody because he suspected that some of his underlings were plotting against the theocracy. So that's what he was going to be working with the party on. But then they basically poisoned the Reeve and lit his house on fire and became murder hobos. So that just didn't work out. Jeremy Jacobs. Oh, wait, hold on. Krill Eat Whales. You are my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. I am happy to be your favorite YouTuber. Jeremy Jacobs says, hey, Bill, I'm new to D&D and I was set as a DM. Do you have any tips for noobs? Number 1, have fun. Number 2, don't worry about the rules. If you don't know the rules or you can't find it in 30 seconds, just make something up. Number 3, keep your pace interesting. Keep it going. Don't have too much boring time because people tune out. Number 4, make it challenging, but don't kill everyone. So make it just challenging enough for things to be threats. Number 5, not every encounter has to be about combat. Add some mystery. Put some puzzles in. Use a riddle. Use traps. Secrets, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's a lot of tips for right now. Tip number, the last, is watch all of my GM tips. That's a good start. All right. Dovahkiin Templar says, have you ever created issues in your games just to mess with the party unity to an extreme level? Yes. Not with the high school students, though, because they're too new to handle that level of intrigue. But when I'm playing with grown-ups, absolutely. And it also depends on the game. So, for example, when I used to play a lot of Vampire the Masquerade or Mage the Ascension, there would be a lot of inter-party intrigue and plots and that kind of stuff. Same thing with Call of Cthulhu. But even with D&D, when I ran the Handyman campaign, there were kind of little things that I would do with the party to create suspicion amongst each other, just for fun. So yes. Are you an Uber driver in your spare time? No, I'm not. I don't have any spare time, you guys. Between my more than full-time job teaching at the high school and doing all the video production and my family and all my volunteer duties, I don't have a lot of spare time. This is my spare time. You guys are my spare time. So let's see. David says, I'm back. I'm cooking supper and watching this at the same time. My group derailed the DM last week and forced him to change his storyline. Good. It's a good challenge for any DM. Let's see. Andy M. Like a Loxodon? Reason I asked is I learned how to sculpt. No promises. Oh, Andy, if you can make my Elephant Man person, that would be dope. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, thank you, Mark Gump. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It actually helps with the promotion of the channel. True. Krill Eats Whales says, hey, Bill, I think you're amazing as a person. Thank you. That means a lot. I don't always think I'm amazing sometimes, but it looks like the kids locked Bill in a closet. I locked myself in a closet, except this door doesn't have a lock, so I'm just in the back room. But this will be coming to an end soon because I have to take the kids over to the studio, actually, to edit one of their videos. So I'm giving my time to help my son and his friends edit one of their videos that they want to put on their channel. So let's see. Blink to let us know you're safe. Blink, blink. Do you remember the time frame that you joined the Bard's Tale game? Yes. So I joined the game towards the end of the first season of The Bard's Tale. I want to say episode 11 or 12 or something like that. And then I was kind of intermittently in it in season 2, and now I'm back in season 3. The Bard's Tale is a very different kind of animal than D&D with high school students because, for one, it's adults. 2, it's got a very expanded storyline with a lot of history that's set in Brian's original world of Anathema. So if you're in for a longer narrative with a lot of nuance, The Bard's Tale is pretty cool. But it's what I would say, a much slower paced game. Not as many like fast encounters and rapid combats, and it's not as intense maybe as D&D with high school students, but it's still a lot of fun. Nate says, your lair reminds me of the dad in Diary of a Wimpy Kid who paints Civil War meanings in his furnace room. Yeah, this is literally like basically that. Except instead of a furnace, I'm 5 feet away from the ejector pit. Oh, there's a little dog pawing at the door. Hello, Cody. What are you doing? Are you just coming to see what I'm doing down here? So in addition to my own dog, I have my brother's dog because he's in Atlanta. Come here. Come here, old dog. Oh. So my big dog won't come downstairs because he's afraid of stairs. This is Cody. He's a Havanese, and he's an old man. He's like 12 years old, or 10 years old. I don't know. He's old. But he's a good little lap dog. Okay, you giving me kisses. He's a good little lap dog, and he's my brother's dog. And my brother's down in Atlanta visiting my oldest niece down there who lives down there. All right, Cody, go on. But he likes to be around people. All right, let's see. Lord Verdon, love the show. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. I'm not sure of your gender. DOD Spec Ops, my man. Good to see you on the stream. Billy Frink says, I love your games and players and watching them grow. Thank you. Happy belated Turkey Day to you, DOD and Dova. Soldier of Kekistan. Dovahkiin is my father. He's taking us on a ride to try and party wipe us. Okay. Cool. Has anyone in D&D with high school students played a rogue? Well, Samantha is, actually, right now. Sam in Season 3 is playing a rogue. But Sean, who played Willie Stroker, was also a rogue. And he was a superb rogue, in the best sense of the word. Yeah, so there have been a couple rogues. Rogues are one of my favorite classes to play, personally. Okay, let's see. David says, I hope Matthew learns to roleplay some as he was questioning Tony's Nat 20 roll on history, and that's not how it's supposed to work. Yeah, Matthew's, he's learning. He's making progress. The dog is dope. The dog is in. I hate Draugr. Yeah, he's awesome. Thank you, David. Cody looks like a savage cabbage. He's a little lapdog. Greg Smimov Art. Hey, a teacher privet from Moscow. Hey, y'all. Greetings. Dostoevsky. I don't know what that means. I have no Russian in me. Actually just downloaded OBS earlier today. I might be stealing directly from your mind, Sanguine. That is possible. Any comment on the OSR kerfluffle? I'm not aware of it, VA. Kerfluffle. I do love your use of the kerfluffle word, though. Do you see many rangers in D&D 5e? You know, it's funny, Lord Verdon. In Season 1, we had a ranger, and nobody's made a ranger since then. I don't know why. I personally like rangers. I think they're great. Just nobody's really been down that path, you know. Sean Bro, yes. Willie Stroker was awesome. Yeah, Rick, you saw that was my younger son. He's the kind of kid who photobombs things. So shout out to the Four Aces. They are my second favorite YouTube channel. Cool. I'll have to check them out. Dear Mr. Billy, would you shoot an element on us? You'd advise not to forget about making the real thing, or less the real ones, maybe. I'm not really sure what that means, Roxy. I'll have to think about that. Probably for the best, and clerics are the best. Ever run games on Roll20? Karafa says, Dad. Hello, Karafa. D&D 6th edition confirmed. What? I can't believe that. Rangers are a little underpowered, but still one of my favorite classes to play. David says, we also, as a first for me, had a person join our campaign playing a bard. It's somewhat different having a bard to help with mystic abilities. Sanguine Entertainment says, if look up best worst D&D classes, most things say Ranger is the worst. Players may be taking such opinions to heart if they read them. You know what I'll say about 5th edition? I don't think any class is the worst, honestly. They've balanced it very well. I think every class has as much flavor as you bring to it. And, you know, one of the things as a player that you guys could, you know, as a player, here's a player tip for free. Try different things. Push yourself beyond what you normally like. Like, I like rogues. I like warlocks. I don't typically play wizards or monks. You know what I mean? Those are just classes that I don't often play. But as a player, I should try those, you know? So if you have an opportunity to try out a different race or class that you don't normally play, try it out. You have nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, you don't like it. Then you don't play one again. Best case scenario, you discover some new thing that you love. So how do you deal with the constant off-topic talks? I'm assuming that you're talking about the high school students that can never shut up about dumb things that don't matter to the game. It's frustrating. But I'm a teacher and a dad, so I'm kind of used to it. I just redirect. So anytime that they are off topic, sometimes I have to wrangle them in. Sometimes I have to like shush them, even though I don't like to do that. You know, sometimes because they're high school kids, you got to kind of do it. The Four Aces. Yeah, you guys should check out The Four Aces. It's an amazing channel full of aces and 4. I used to play only 2nd edition, but once 5th came out, I converted. That's a big jump. I played every edition. 4th edition was the one that I played the least amount of time. I think I played like, I don't know, maybe 4 adventures in 4th edition. And it was okay, but it just wasn't inspiring. The Four Aces says it's time to go edit. Yes, we'll be going to edit soon. Let's see. Sanguine Entertainment says, I agree it's well balanced. I also cringed hearing my typing error read back to me. Are you an English teacher? Yes. I'm a video teacher, but I'm an endorsed English teacher. Worst class is the one you can't have fun with. I see there's no such thing in your world. Yes, I think I could have fun with any class. And in fact, part of the challenge of being a good player is trying to have fun. So even if you have bad rolls, you know, if you have a dump stat, if you have some weakness in your character, that can be a good thing. And, you know, we actually, Brian and I talk a lot about this on our episodes of Rise and Roll, about being prepared as a player, being prepared as a DM, trying new things, being open-minded to try new things in the game, because it's a game. You have nothing to lose. Have fun with it. Hey, let's see. Hey, Scott Marish. How's it going, Scott Marish? Welcome to the chat. Let's see. Carlos says, I've never played a magic user, just made a warlock in my current game. Hopefully it works out. Have to catch up on your show. Yes. Carlos, I love warlocks. I think there's so much role-playing potential with warlocks. They're good at a few things. They're not as versatile as wizards. They're not as powerful in terms of blasting power as sorcerers, but warlocks are really cool. And you could have a lot of fun playing the warlock class. So many different varieties of warlock options too. That's what's really cool. Let's see. Lord Verdon suggests shock collars. Maybe. We'll see. My DM has written enough material to keep our group in this campaign for the next 5 years. That's awesome. Don't get burned out. If you have to take a break, but it's better than just getting burned out. Let's see. Shane says, I haven't played D&D in over 20 years, but I still collect second and first edition books when I find them. Love the artwork. You know what? Good for you, Shane. That is awesome. I suggest you find a group and play again, because it's like riding a bike. You will rediscover something that you loved 20 years ago, and you'll have a new hobby. And it's a very affordable hobby. And there are a lot of people playing first edition out there still. It's kind of made a comeback with the rise of D&D in general. So you might even be able to find a group playing first edition, but I'll bet if you don't, you can easily find a group playing 5th edition who would love to teach you how to play the game again. So get up on that, buddy. Kai Silver says, hi. Smash Brothers, I run my normal campaign with 5 adults and I still need to get them back on track way too often. Yeah, you know what, honestly, for as distracted as the high school kids can be, I've played in games where adults are worse. And that's even more frustrating. Can't have combat taking 3 hours every time. Yes. Soldier of Kekistan, +1 subscriber. Thank you. How much are the models you use? I don't even know where to start with that question because I have a ridiculous amount of miniatures and terrain. Some of it I made my own. Some of it I bought. Some of it I got donated. All that stuff. Rigas caught me watching Saber Dice. Yeah, the funny thing about Saber Dice is I can never find the time to watch a whole episode, but I try to tune in when I can because I know half the cast, like in person. Michael from Unmade Gaming, and obviously Cody and Dave. I've met them in person. I know them, and they're all fun guys, so I try to catch that show whenever I can. Venture Maidens, I have not watched a full episode of Venture Maidens, but I do like what I see so far. Let's see. Just finished a mini campaign as a kick-ass bard. Just started one as a druid. Soon starting an ongoing Midgard campaign. Cool. Awesome, Rhythmic. Let's see. If you had to choose the wizard magic system, prepping spells, or sorcerer, which would you choose? Sorcerer. I've never been a big fan of having to worry about verbal, somatic, and material components. That's why I don't like wizards. Making critical misses, hits, and critical rolls into fun is what I found most resourceful. Yes, Roxy, you make a good point. Have fun with it if it's a miss. Have fun with it if it's a hit. Make it epic. David says, I'm having a hard time finding materials listing all the prestige classes a rogue can pick. Yeah, I don't worry about that. You know, I have fun playing a rogue even if I just pick like the basic player's handbook options. Andy's talking about the Larry Elmore art in Redbox. Yes, I had a chance to meet Larry Elmore. It was a distinct honor to meet him in person and buy some of his art. Here, I'll show you guys a sneak peek before I have to go, because I do have to go. But I was able to meet and purchase some prints from Jeff Easley. A few years ago, he was at the Bristol Renaissance Fair, which is in Wisconsin. It's about an hour and a half from where I live. So I got this one. This webcam is shitty, and this is in plastic, so sorry. Come on. Maybe if I put more light on it. Nope, that's worse. Yeah, so there's that one. It's pretty cool. Signed and matted. And then, of course, this one, which is probably my favorite. For those of you who remember D&D from the old days, that light does nothing to help. So, yeah. So these are a couple of my treasures, artistic treasures. Yeah, not really easy to see, but you get the gist of it. Those are some of the fun things that I will be hanging up to inspire me. All right, so people, I think my test of OBS has been a success. Is there any way to do a multi-year campaign in your format? Ooh, good question. Don't know the answer. Random question. Favorite type of elemental between water, air, earth, and fire? Air. air, because they're a lot more powerful than you think they could be, and they're underused. People always go to like water and fire and earth. I think air is amazing. And air elementals could have a lot of function narratively beyond just like, here's a monster to attack you. Like, what if you had to use an air elemental to achieve a goal that only an air elemental could help you out with? See, I like to think of that. Early level wizards are hard because you're punting all your gold into materials and paper and ink. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, thank you for joining in and for sharing in this test of OBS and just talking about stuff. And if you haven't been keeping up, keep up with your episodes because season 3 is trucking along. And don't forget about the 15K Superfan Trivia giveaway. And there's already like 1 million people with correct answers. So we'll be, I think on Monday, we're going to do a Fun Day Monday where we draw from the winningest responses and start randomly giving out prizes. So stay tuned for that on Monday. And also, don't forget to tune in to Rise and Roll, which we do live on Monday morning on Twitch, and then we have it up on the Initiative Coffee Company YouTube channel by Wednesday. So whether you're rising and rolling in your time zone, we will be rising and rolling on Monday. So thank you guys. I see many of you saying bye and thank you, but I will say thank you. And it's Thanksgiving here in America, so I'll say thank you because you guys have really helped propel things with the channel to a place that I could not have imagined. I started the channel off as just somewhere to put all my nerdy stuff that I like to do, my D&D stuff and my crafting stuff and just anything. So you guys have really helped in a lot of ways, and now going beyond me, it's grown beyond me because now you're helping to show these students who are studying media how they can produce programs and how they can get feedback from the fans about how to improve the programs. And so it's become a whole circle of cool, interesting stuff. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace out.